Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just a tiny little bit of medical drama there, but we're okay. No stitches are required and everything's going to be okay. And the cut was a long way from the heart, so I think we'll be all right. But of course, you want to be rather safe than sorry in those situations. So I apologize for having to dive off really quick, but we're back and we're talking about sperm retention, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, when we left, we were talking about the fact that people that tell us things and things that everybody believes and things that everybody knows, a lot of times those things are told us to keep us in bondage. They're told us to keep us down. And I think even now to an ever more increasing degree that what we're being told by the experts is not the truth. And more what we're being told by experts is actually meant to harm us. The experts tell us what they tell us to control us. They tell us what they tell us to hurt us. They tell us what to tell us because they think we're sheep. And I think that's really bad. But unfortunately, most of us are. So the experts are telling us what they tell us because they want us to know it. They want us to believe it. The experts do not have our best interests at heart, generally speaking. That's why every day, when I end just about every broadcast, I tell you and encourage you to ask questions and question answers. And in this case, there's this ubiquitous belief, at least throughout the United States, and I think throughout the Western world, that, you know, the more sex you can have, the better. The more you should masturbate all the time. You should ejaculate all the time because it's so good for you to masturbate. It's so good for you to ejaculate. Look at the explosion of pornography throughout the Western world and really the whole world. What does that lead to? That leads to all kinds of masturbation. It's like there's a, I mean, think about it. Pornography, movies, not just the internet pornography, but pictorial photography, movie photography, internet photography. Think about all the strip joints. Think about the proliferation of prostitution. Do you really think they couldn't stop prostitution if they wanted to? So it seems to me that if you look at it objectively, if you look at it empirically, there is an organized effort, well-funded, pushed heavily, that is here to get us to orgasm as much as possible. And I'm talking about really men right now because I don't know much about the female part because, yeah, you know, I'm not a female. But at any rate, they're trying to get men, they're trying to addict men to masturbation. And I guess women get addicted to porn as well, but it's on a much lower scale. So the experts are trying to get us addicted to porn. Why? The experts are trying to get us addicted to profane sexuality. Why? The experts want us to believe that men should masturbate and orgasm, I almost said the bad word, and orgasm as often as possible. Why are they telling us that? It's time for us to ask questions and to question the answers that they give us. You know, the common belief about masturbation and that it's good and healthy for you, that's what the experts say in perfect unison. And there's really two types of men in this world. There's men that masturbate and there's liars, right? That's a joke, but unfortunately it's almost true. So it has become ubiquitous. They've sold us this bill of goods. Everybody believes it's healthy for you. Everybody believes you should do it. And the experts crow about this in perfect unison. And that's exactly what bugs me. Because when everybody believes something, I start saying, wait a second, everybody believes this. They're selling it to us hard. What am I missing? So during meditation this morning, I got a couple of hits. Obviously, this is the third show I've done today from hits that I got during meditation, second show. And one of the hits was that, you know, about be in peace, hold peace in your heart. And again, if you hold peace in your heart, you're not going to be, I was going to use a terrible analogy, but you're not going to be engaged in these type of activities that we're talking about. And here's some things that as I got this hit during meditation that this shouldn't be a part of my life anymore. Masturbation should not be a part of my life anymore. And I went to data. I've been researching all day. I'm by myself. Sandra's in Fort Lauderdale. I'm on the other side of the state. So I've been researching for several hours about this. And what I found during my research is that the energetic requirements to produce sperm are enormous. The sperm cell is arguably the most energetically difficult cell to produce in the human body. Think about that. It takes more energy and more nutrients and more building blocks to produce a sperm cell, molecule, whatever they are. I'm not a scientist. But it takes more to produce sperm than anything else, arguably. Now somebody's going to say, no, actually the epithelial ophthalmic coordinator there is more. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about absolutes, but the energy required for your body to produce sperm, men, huge. And experts say this is one of the reasons why men need more calories. Yeah, I know they got more muscle mass. I know they're bigger bodies. I'm just telling you what the experts who I just chided say, but I mean, some things are just empirical facts. Men do need more calories than women. The need to produce sperm is one of those reasons. And studies show that this need to produce sperm and this great energetic drain on producing sperm is one of the reasons why men don't live as long on average. Think about this, women. You're born with all the eggs you're ever going to have. You are born with a finite number of eggs. So your eggs are made while you're in the womb. Men, not that way. We continue to manufacture sperm on a daily basis throughout our lives at great energetic costs, at a cost of longevity, and at the need for more calories. So you can say this, and we're going to talk about the mundane first, and we'll move into the sacred probably in another show, but physically, and I spelled physically wrong, sorry about that, physically producing the life-giving stuff of sperm actually consumes your life. And we will see that's also a metaphysical reality. And like I was just sharing with you, think about it. Women are born with all the eggs they'll ever have. Men are producing sperm continually at a high energetic cost. I think some of you are starting to see where we're going with this. And about today's men, forget about it. If the energetic costs to produce sperm are very high, if the ability to produce sperm is related to the health and vitality and vibrance of today's men, how do you think today's obese, stressed, hormone-depleted men children are doing with producing sperm? How do you think they're doing, ladies? I don't think a day goes by hardly where I don't get a complaint from a lady or an email from a lady, thankfully not Sandra, but I don't get things, I don't get those complaints yet, that there's no men left. There's no real men. They're all dandies, they're all babies, they're all children. Over 70% of American males under the age of 30 are functionally impotent. They can't maintain erections. They don't have any sperm count. It's no wonder women are complaining that there's no real men left, because you know what? There aren't any real men left. Is Sandra in the chat room? How did she sneak in? How did she sneak in? I know she's busy. Nice to see you there, sweetheart. So come on, let's clean it up a little bit, Cy Evans. We got young watchers here too. So let's try to keep it the cussing on the DL, okay? So let's talk about this again, ladies and gentlemen. That's why there's no real men left. One of the reasons why is because all the stupid stuff they're doing. Another reason why is because they sit home in their mom's basement, on their mom's couch, eating Cheetos, drinking Fanta orange soda, watching pornography, and masturbating daily. Here's a quote from MSI College. Lowering the frequency of ejaculation should result in living longer, aging more slowly, and looking better in appearance. Lowering the frequency of ejaculation should result in living longer, aging more slowly, and looking better in appearance. Think about that. Now, a lot of you have made big commentary on the changes in my appearance over the past 6 months. And for the first 3 months of that, I wasn't involved in any of that stuff, any sexuality. Things have changed a little bit in the last couple of months. Counting. But I wasn't involved in sexuality. I wasn't involved in much of that stuff. So is that part of the reason why I started looking so much younger, started getting much better shape? Because I was retaining and also quit eating and quit working out. So anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So let's go back and look at this some more and get deeper into the subject. I'm sorry I can't get in the chat room right now, but I want to get through this, and then we'll go in the chat room afterwards. So is it worth pondering about the frequency of ejaculation for living longer, aging more slowly, and looking better in appearance? Even if we did just that, would it be a better world or a worse world if men lived longer, if men aged more slowly, and if they looked better? How would that affect the confidence of men? And do you think that if a guy sees himself looking better, if a guy sees himself aging more slowly, if a guy sees himself being healthier, do you think that would affect his ability to act as a full male, or would it hinder his ability to act as a full male? And ladies, if there were more men in the world that were living longer, aging more slowly, and looking better, do you think that would help your plight of there not being any real men left? Think outside the box, gentlemen. What if you stopped watching pornography, period? Just stopped it. And I'm not just talking about full-blown pornography. What if you stopped watching even this erotica and like, what did Sovereign Key call it? Even things that are titillating, like, you know, what are those magazines? Somebody help me out. Maxim and, you know, the bikini magazines, those kind of things. What if you stopped watching porn? What if you stopped looking at erotica and titillating stuff? And I had this come into my life. I mean, this came to me. I'll just be honest. I was never, you know, way back in the day, I watched some pornography when I was a kid, but I've not been, like I said, I have not been a porn guy, not been, you know, the big self-pleasure guy. But I'll tell you, things would pop up on Twitter, things would pop up on YouTube, you know, like what Sovereign Key would call titillation. Oh, you know, you're male, but that's an excuse. And I realize that's an excuse. Oh yeah, I'm just looking at this, or I'm just looking at that. It's not porn, I'm just looking, you know, and you just do it kind of passively, not even thinking about it. But when you begin to meditate, you begin to be able to step out of, oh, it's just normal. You begin to step out of, oh, that's just regular. And you begin to be able to look and evaluate all of your actions through a objective lens. And so not only, I mean, if you're watching porn, you're stupid. Sorry, Sophia. But if you're watching porn, you are stupid. You shouldn't do that. It lowers your vibration. It lowers the vibration you're going to give to your partner. It objectifies women mostly. It turns you into a minute man, if you know what I mean. And it causes you to be engaged in service to self and greatly hinders your ability to be service to others in an intimate fashion. So what if you stopped the porn? But let's go beyond that. What if you stopped the self-pleasuring? Well, Jeff, sometimes I like to take myself out to dinner and have my way with myself. I get it. I was single for, man, I've been single for a long, long time. Before I met Sandra, I was single for like 10 years. So I know what I'm talking about. I know what you're up against. But what if you stopped? Let's just ask this. What happens if you stop doing the porn and you stop doing the self-pleasuring? Here's what's going to happen. You're going to have increased confidence, and we're just talking mundane. You're going to have less depression. You're going to have less anxiety. You're going to have less fear. You're going to have more motivation, and you're going to accomplish more. And ladies, if there were more men in the world that had more confidence, weren't depressed, weren't riddled with anxieties, didn't have fears, and were more motivated and were accomplishing more, would that be better for you or worse? Men, would it be better for you to have increased confidence, less depression, anxiety, and fear? Would it be better for you to be more motivated and be able to accomplish more? Sounds like a win-win to me. Here's some of the benefits that the studies show of sperm retention. It gives you more energy. It gives you more confidence. You're less depressed. You're happier. You have less anxiety. Your social skills improve. Your motivation and productivity improve. Fat loss improves. Muscle growth improves. From sperm retention. Ladies, look at that list. Would you like to see more men like that? Men, look at that list. Would you like to be more like that? How bad do you want it, gentlemen? And ladies, how bad do you want a man like that? Are you willing to draw a line in the sand and say, this is what I want, I'll settle for nothing less? Men, are you willing to have a come to Jesus meeting with yourself and say, I'm not going to do it anymore? Einstein said that the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. Oh, I want to get a better life. I want to get a better girlfriend. I want to be better. And you still do the same stuff that you've been doing. More benefits. Better skin, thicker hair, brighter eyes, your immunity is improved, your stamina is improved, better relationships, you're able to control your aggression. Why? Mundane. Here's the reason why. Because sperm is full of protein. It's full of nutrients. It's full of key minerals and enzymes. When you retain it, your body reabsorbs it. So your body reabsorbs it, and because it reabsorbs it, you get all these benefits. Your body reabsorbs the proteins, the nutrients, the minerals, and you get all these benefits. Amazing, isn't it? For single men, sperm retention will help you consistently attract real, higher quality women into your life, maybe even your twin flame. Let me look at you for a minute. Let me look at you for a minute. And I don't know if anybody's blowing up the chat room or not. But I met Sandra virtually about a year ago. And about a year ago, I was practicing all these things that I'm talking about. I was practicing them. Not perfectly, not with the clarity that I have here today, but I was practicing all those things. And cousin, I attracted a real higher quality woman into my life. I attracted my twin flame into my life. And if you ever meet Sandra, you ask her. That's all right, Daniel. You can disagree. You just can't be disagreeable or rude. And I don't see that you're doing that. If he is, somebody bounce him out, please. If you ever meet Sandra, ask her, what attracted you to Jeff? She'll tell you it was my energy initially. It was my steadfastness, my stability, my strength. And a lot of that came from what I'm talking about today. And a lot of it still comes from what I'm talking about today. I say that single men, this will help you consistently attract a real woman, a higher quality woman into your life, and maybe even attract your twin flame. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, his energy essence and his unwavering strength. Now, I'm not saying it all came from this, but I'm saying a big part of it came from this. So I'm saying that I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And if you like where I am, and if you like what I got, I'm trying to help you get it. And remember, I'm still getting this. So single men, this will help you attract a higher quality woman, and even your twin flame. And you know, I'm trying to get all of you men and all of you women to try to attract your twin flame, not so you can have a great girlfriend or a great boyfriend or have great sex. That's all icing. But what I want you to do is be able to enter into powerful alchemical creation. God Elohim, Goddess Elohim coming together, full Elohim. We need more creators, more than we've ever needed more creators. We need you to start creating. And the best, highest expression of creation on this earthly plane is for twin flame souls to get together and get creating. Dudes, duh. No real quality woman wants a depressed dude with no confidence, riddled with insecurities, anxieties, and fears. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So what's the payoff for men that are in relationships? Well, first of all, you get all that service to self stuff. You get all the more strength, less depression, less anxiety. You get the better hair, the better skin. You get more energy. That's important because physical optimization is the quickest path to spiritual optimization. And that's not saying that everybody that's in the gym that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger's twin brother is going to be spiritual. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying they could be spiritual a lot easier than the guys that look like John Hagee's twin brother, great big fat preacher. I just wanted to throw a little slap out there. But anyway, if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger's twin brother, you're in a much better position to move into spirituality than if you're some big fat person's twin brother. And I'm not trying to make fun of fat people. It just is what it is. Physical vitality makes it much easier to enter into spiritual vitality. And dudes, you have to ask yourself a question. I'm talking to dudes right now. Dude, why are you dating her? I'll wait. And what the heck, ladies, why are you dating him? Ask yourself right now, those of you that are dating someone, take a minute. Why am I dating him? Why am I dating her? Why? Is it service to self? Is it service to others? Why are you doing it? Time is your most precious commodity. Sex, every bit of sex you have creates. What are you creating? What are you? Sex is a huge exchange of energy. What type of energy are you exchanging? Ladies, what type of energy are you allowing into yourselves? Men, what type of energy are you communing with? Why are you dating her? For dudes in real relationships, the payoff, dudes that have their twin flame especially, no, dudes in real relationships and even dudes like me that have their twin flame, it's even more so. It's all about service to others. Sperm retention for dudes that have a twin flame or dudes that are in a relationship with someone they really love deeply and really care about. It's not about the fact your hair is thicker, your skin's better, your muscles are bigger, you've lost fat. It's not about you're more confident, you don't have anxieties, you don't have depression. It's not really about that. It is because that makes you able to be of service to your lady. But in specific relation to the sperm retention, it's all about service to others. The service to self enables you to be of more service to others. And by others, I mean the other one, your twin flame or the lady that you're in a relationship with. Because men hear this, and Sandra shared this with me, so I know it's true. Your love, your lover, your lady needs your sexual energy. So stop stealing from her. That's the mundane. And we slipped a little bit into the woo-woo with that last statement here. That's our transition from mundane to woo-woo. Your love needs your sexual energy. Stop stealing from her. Your lady needs your sexual energy. Stop stealing from her. I want to go right now to the article that I got a lot of information from. And I'm not going to make you watch all this, but I just want to read through this a little bit and give you kind of an idea to finish this up. And then we're going to go into this sacred ways that this helps you. We won't do it today, but let me share this with you. Humans have a built-in desire to reproduce and pass on our genetics. It's called the genetic imperative. You have an imperative to have sex. And I'm going to woo-woo you a little bit right now because remember we talked about the Elohim created us as Elohim, and the main job of an Elohim is to create, and the main job of us, male, female, twin flames, is to create. And it's not talking about babies. Babies are great, they're a blessing, but they're the little teeniest, tiniest part of creation. We are compelled to create. We're not just compelled to have babies. We're compelled to create, especially if we're woke. We're compelled to create. And that sexual drive is a drive of creation. And when you are having sex with your twin flame, when you are having sex with a woman or a man that you love and are committed to, it's alchemy. You're not just having a great physical time, even though if you're not having a great physical time, you're not doing it right. If you're having a great physical time, that's great. But remember, that's the icing. It's the alchemical energetic exchange that's going on. That's the real thing. And it's creating. When you're having sex with your twin flame, with your soulmate, with the person that you love and are committed to 100%, when you're having sex with them, you are creating. And if you, so I see light bulbs going off like I'm at a U2 concert. People are getting it, they're saying, whoa, it's true, that's real, it's true. When you reserve your sperm for just a union with your mate, she's getting all that energy. You're exchanging all that energy, and it's synergy. If you're satisfying your imperative, your sexual imperative, if you're masturbating, you're not sharing that with her. You're stealing from her. You're stealing from yourself. Now, let me back out of the woo-woo and just get back to the mundane. Humans have a desire to have sex. If you satisfy this need by masturbating, your body and your brain believes that you're doing well in life, because your serpent, your reptilian cortex is built. I got to have as much sex as I can. I got to ejaculate as much as I can, because your reptilian cortex thinks, well, this dummy's not stupid enough to just do it with himself. Of course he's going to do it with a woman. So you're dumber than your reptilian cortex. We've been dumber than our reptilian cortexes. And if you're having a lot of ejaculations, your body says, good job, keep going. Only problem is, it's just you, and you're not doing a good job. In fact, it's counterproductive, because the brain doesn't know the difference between orgasm from real sex or orgasm from masturbation. It doesn't know, it doesn't care. It's a lizard brain. It's saying, have sex, go, 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 go. And when it sees that you're doing it, it thinks it doesn't think you're stupid enough to do it by yourself all the time. It doesn't. And to a man, these people that sit home and masturbate all the time, they probably think they're great with women. They probably think they're great with women, but they're not, because they're home being with themselves all the time, and they're anxious and they're depressed, and they go out in the real world and they can't function, and women are like, what's going on? But when you stop the self-pleasuring, all of a sudden you're not having sex. You're not ejaculating. Your brain's like, your lizard brain's like, bah, 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 bah. Alarms. And then your reptilian cortex starts saying, okay, wait a minute. We're not having sex. That means something's broken. And so your reptilian cortex kicks in and says, let's take a look. Oh, dude's 350 pounds and 5'6". That's a problem. Let's fix it. Let's start releasing more of our ketones. Let's get this lazy jerk up. It starts doing stuff. Well, what else is going on? Oh, he's got a sperm count that is in the 1 times tables. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2. We got a problem. We got to fix it. So your brain panics. And it obviously starts to believe, if dude is not having any sex, we're not going to reproduce. So that means he's got no skills with women. So it starts to improve you in every possible way to attract women. Your brain is wired. Your reptilian cortex is wired to pass on your genetics. And if you can't pass on your genetics, if you're not doing it, it does everything it can to encourage mating. including making you look better, giving you more motivation to go out, make more money, be able to approach chicks, give you confidence. It even gives you a deeper voice, gentlemen. And let's face it, I don't care how spiritual the woman is or how unspiritual, women are attracted to testosterone and masculinity. It's just the way it is. Look back in the chat and see what Sandra was attracted to in me. Women are attracted to testosterone and masculinity. And guess what? When your physique improves and your voice improves, your health improves, your personality improves, your body language improves, even your pheromones improve. And it enables you to be a man that's attractive to quality women. Quality women. Humans are the only creatures without a mating season. Why are you consistently wasting semen all throughout the year rather than letting it serve your body and allow you to be in a place that you really want to be? Because you've been lied to, you've been cheated on, and you've been stolen from by the intelligentsia of this world. Napoleon Hill, one of my favorite authors, I pulled this out, and I want to share this with you. Napoleon Hill says that, and he's talking about sperm retention, when driven by desire, men develop keenness of it. When men start practicing sperm retention, when you stop watching pornography and you stop masturbating, stop means stop, okay? But it's going to build up and my prostate's going to explode and it's going to come out my ears and I'm going to die. No, you're not. No, you're not. If it gets too built up, if it gets too backed up, there's a thing called a nocturnal emission. That used to be a thing. It's not a thing anymore because nobody has anything built up anymore because we're like dogs. If you make the decision to say, you know what, I'm done with service to self. I'm done acting like the dog next door. I'm going to make a commitment to myself. I'm going to make a commitment to my mate. And Sandra and I are going to talk about this because she was talking about something with me on our first date about this Christos rising thing and abstinence. We got to talk about that on the show, sweetheart, if you're still there. So Napoleon Hill says, when you're driven by this desire, when you make the decision not to do this stuff and to focus your energy, you develop a keenness of imagination. You develop courage. You develop willpower. You develop persistence. And you develop a creative ability unknown to you at any other time, except when you're with your twin flame and you're doing it right and you're still reserving it for her or him, whoever you are. So strong and impelling is the desire for sexual contact that men freely run the risk of life and reputation to indulge in it. Think of the things you've done, men, for sex. Think of them. When you harness this power and redirect it along other lines, this motivating force maintains all of its attributes and keenness of imagination, courage, etc., which may be used as powerful creative forces in literature, art, or any other profession or calling, including, of course, the accumulation of riches. That's from Think and Grow Rich out of my book, The Spiritual Wisdom of Napoleon Hill. Scientific research has disclosed these significant facts. Most men of great achievement are men with highly developed sexual natures that they have harnessed to their own desires and have learned the art of sex transmutation. Let me stop here for a minute. I'm not talking about, when I say highly successful men, and this is what Hill was talking about because he wrote his book about men that started with nothing and built great empires. He's not talking about the guy whose mommy or daddy gave him a company and all he does is sit behind a desk and manage what somebody else produced. That is not a successful man. That is not a man of great achievement. That's a man of lucky heritage. We're not talking about that. And if you see those silver spoon, hand-me-down millionaires, you're going to see people that are sexually, how do I say this? They're not men that are practicing this type of discipline. They're men that are trying to make themselves feel good by conquest of women. They're men that are trying to take advantage and control. Those are your psychopaths, your sociopaths, your narcissists. Not to say that some men that started with nothing and built everything aren't those things too, but Hill's talking about the men that didn't have a daddy that gave him something, didn't have a mommy that gave him something. He's talking about the men that weren't born with a silver spoon, but were born with brass in their boxers, if you know what I mean. Those men value women, value people. Those are the men like Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone that say the best way for me to succeed is to help as many people as other people as possible succeed. Not to take advantage, dupe, lie, cheat, steal, and deceive, use, destroy, and torture as many people as I can to try to fill the empty, gaping hole within my heart that'll never be filled. Successful men understand the power of sex transmutation. It means not watching porn when you want to watch porn, but transmuting, and you will want to watch porn because the society you've grown up in. It's taking that desire, I want to watch porn, and you transmute it into spiritual power. It's taking that desire to self-pleasure and saying, I want to self-pleasure, and you will. You're male. Don't know about females. And taking that power and transmuting it, changing it. We talked about transmutation with Sovereign Key. And transmuting it into something that is powerful. If you're single, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to transmute that energy into going to the gym, writing my book, building my business, cutting the grass, for Pete's sake. If you're married, if you're in a relationship with your twin flame or someone you're deeply committed to, I'm not going to watch that porn. I'm not going to do that self-pleasuring because I'm going to save and retain this energy and this essence, and I'm going to reserve it for my sacred time with my love. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and outstanding recognition are motivated by the influence of a great woman. Everybody wants to talk about how great Jeff's been the last 3 months. There's only one change in Jeff's life in the last 3 months, arguably. The love of a great woman. The emotion of sex, the alchemy of sex, if you allow me to add a little bit to W. Clement Stone's words, the alchemy of sex is an irresistible force against which there can be no successful opposition. When driven by the alchemy of sexuality, men become gifted with a superpower for action. Understand this truth and you will catch the significance of the statement that sex transmutation will lift you to the status of a genius. Men, I'm talking about something that will change your lives. Men, I'm talking about something that will change the life of the woman in your life. And women, if you can get one of these dudes, woo, it's going to be good. But you get what you look for, and you get what you ask for, you get what you settle for. And ladies, at the end of the day, you get what you deserve. What you going to settle for? How high are you willing to raise your standards, ladies? How high? What are you willing to settle for? What are you willing to go through? How long are you willing to wait? How tough are you? Are you really ready to cowgirl up? For the purpose of refreshing the memory, says Hill, in connection with the facts available about the biographies of certain men, I have here presented the names of a few men of outstanding achievement, each of whom was known to have been of a highly sex nature and was known to be a practitioner of sexual transmutation. Now, some of the men on this list, you're going to say, oh, well, he did this and he did that. What you have to remember is that the historians of the elite intelligentsia are the ones that told you that he did this and he did that. Napoleon Hill sat down and wrote, he sat down and he said, I want to interview the most successful men in America that started with nothing and built great companies. He didn't read anything about them. He didn't read what other people wrote. He didn't care what other people thought. He went and talked to the men themselves, mano a mano, one-on-one. And this is what he found. These men were known to be highly sexed men of a highly sexed nature, I mean. And let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, men, if you are a man with a high sexual nature, that means you're a big-time creator, brother. And it's going to be a little bit harder for you to maintain this self-discipline, but the rewards of it are going to be exponential. If you're a highly sexed individual, that means you're probably a highly creative individual, unless you're a psychopath. We're not talking to psychopaths. If you can discipline yourself to do this, your life will explode. Your life will explode. If you're single, it'll explode in ways that you're able to transmute the sexual energy into. I just realized this. When I stopped engaging in self-pleasure, I stopped pretty much, I didn't stop completely, but I stopped pretty much. Very rare it was, and now it's over. Very rare it was, and that's when I was able to stop working jobs and start working this. So I transmuted my sexual power that I was using for self-pleasure, service to self, and transmuted it into manifesting this work that you're watching now. Yeah, I'm in a trailer and I drive a 2003 car, but I'm not sitting in a cubicle right now. And I'm doing service to others, and I'm doing my great basic purpose, and I am with my twin flame, and I'm happier than I've ever been. George Washington, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Thomas Jefferson. This study disclosed that the major reason why the majority of men do not begin to succeed before the age of 40 to 50 is their tendency to dissipate their energies through overindulgence in physical expression of sexual alchemy. The majority of men never learn that the urge of sex has other possibilities which far transcend in importance that of mere physical expression. The majority of those who make this discovery do so after many wasted years when the sexual energy is at its height prior to 45 to 50. This usually is followed by noteworthy achievement. He just talked about my life. And if you look at the life of Jefferson and Washington, Oscar Wilde, Ralph Waldo Emerson, that's exactly what you see. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali went years without releasing semen in order to achieve athletic success. Former world heavyweight champion David Haye. Listen to this. This is good. Find a lion, he says, that hasn't had food for a while, and you got one dangerous cat. David Haye says, I don't ejaculate for 6 weeks before the fight. No sex, no masturbation, no nothing. It releases too much tension. It releases minerals, nutrients my body needs. It releases them cheaply. Releasing weakens your knees and your legs. Find a lion that hadn't had some food for a while. You got a dangerous cat. So it won't be a drip from me, even in my sleep. If there's girls all over my dream, I say, I got to fight next week. Get away from me. I can't do it. That's control. I've been doing that since I was 15, and it's part and parcel of my preparation. That's why I am who I am today. It's down to all those little sacrifices. Find me another boxer that makes that sacrifice. I'll find you another champion. David Haye, world heavyweight champion. Mike Tyson, baddest man on the planet. Muhammad Ali, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Good looking, beautiful, gorgeous, the greatest. You might not have a problem arguing with Jeffrey Daugherty. Although, Look at the results. That might have been a little ego, but look at the results. I'm trying to help you out. You might argue with me. You're going to argue. You really going to argue with Muhammad Ali? You're going to tell the champ that he's wrong? You're going to tell Muhammad Ali that he was wrong about this? When was the last time you were world heavyweight champion? When was the last time you were at the top of your field? You're going to argue with Mike Tyson? Yeah, Mike's made some mistakes, but the brother was world heavyweight champion, baddest man on the planet. Nobody could beat him until he stopped practicing his semen retention. That's what got him in trouble. Robin, what's her name, right? You going to argue with Jefferson, Washington? Lincoln's on the list. I'm not a big fan of Lincoln, but dude became president. And we just talked about the mundane. We've dabbled a little bit in the sacred, but this is all the mundane. Quit your whining, guys, about how bad your life is and how you can't find a woman and how you got no energy and you're depressed. If you're, don't even call me. Don't even email me unless you're ready to stop watching porn and you're ready to stop masturbating. Don't waste my time. Single or married. If you're not willing to stop, don't ask me for help because you're wasting my time. And you're wasting your time and you're stealing from your partner. Now, if you do want help, I'm your guy. You can get help from Sandra and I about relationship optimization, about sacred sexuality. You can get help from us on all types of sexual and spiritual areas. And they're so close to the same. And what if you tried it? What if you tried it? See if I'm right. See if Muhammad Ali's right. See if Mike Tyson's right. See if David Hay, world heavyweight champion's right. See if Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Abraham, see if they're right. Why don't you try it? Are you afraid that you're going to find out you're addicted to pornography? Are you afraid you're going to find out you're addicted to masturbation? If you're throwing your semen away, you're tricking your brain. Let your sexual energy build and watch your life change. Napoleon Hill. It all drives from evolution. In order for a male to succeed, be it animal or human, the male would have to fight his way through the herd and through the tribe. The most dominant alpha male usually wins out in that battle. By ejaculating frequently, you actually take away this evolutionary power. Hence, why so many men feel lifeless in the modern era, because men are masturbating more than they ever have in all of human history. If you doubt that, you're not even able to think straight. Do you really think with the explosion of internet porn, the explosion of erotica, the explosion of pornography, the explosion of all these imagery, do you really think men aren't masturbating more than they ever have? Of course they are. And there's never been a sorrier state of male in the history of our species. We're the sorriest bunch of males, M-A-L-Es, in the history of our species. And you can trace it right back, dot by dot by dot by dot by dot, to the pernicious, all-consuming, ubiquitous presence of, what's the word I'm looking for? Compulsive masturbation. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, and I'm not masturbating anymore. That's a little uncomfortable to say, but I'm not. Not going to do it. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, and I'm not looking at pornography anymore. Really haven't, but I'm not looking at it anymore. My name's Jeffrey Daugherty, and I'm not looking at erotica anymore. My name's Jeffrey Daugherty, and I'm not looking at titillating images anymore. I'm not doing it. Not because my Christian mores are creeping back into my brain. No, because I want to serve. I want to be of service to myself and create myself and physical optimization so I can be a better service to others by becoming spiritually optimized. And I want to be of service to the woman I love. She deserves my energy. She deserves my essence. She deserves the opportunity to transmute my sexual energy into creative force that the two of us will share. She deserves better. I deserve better. This is good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, you want to be a man? You want to find your twin flame? Be a man worthy of a twin flame. You want to find a great woman? Be a man worthy of a great woman. You want to find a great woman? Be a man a great woman wants. And this, I was going to say a hands-on approach. It's a hands-off approach. You like that? It's a hands-off approach to being a man a great woman would want. Do you want to be heavyweight champion of your own world? I'm showing you how. Do you want to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee? Do you want to be the greatest that you can be? I'm showing you how. And all we've talked about is the mundane part of it. I haven't even talked about the sacred part of it yet, just a little bit. Wow. 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 Let me roll back to the chat room. I know I've been here a long time, but let me roll back to the chat room. If you need to work with Sandra and I, go to serpentanddove.org, send us a message, have a good intention, know what you want. We work on a donation basis. Just rolling through the chat room, rolling through the chat room, rolling through the chat room. Yes, a lot of things to talk about in our upcoming podcast, baby. He whines about his, oh my, Delaney, why you do that to me? Hold your essence, says Delaney. Absolutely. Somebody get rid. I'll get rid of this guy. Why did we let him stay here so long? There aren't many other issues. Rick quit years ago. Rick, I salute you. There's a good man right there. He was probably a little bit scared of Delaney, but that's okay. Whatever got him to stop. Daniel, you can, Sandra, I'm truly the most blessed woman that ever existed. Why you got to do this? It's like 2 broadcasts in a row. You brought tears to my eyes. I'm trying to look cool up here and you're making me cry on camera. Stop it. Thank you, baby. Divine Feminine tuning in. Thank you, Kayla Divine. Who's the author of that article? It was from, what was it? You'll have to go back and see. Napoleon Hill and was it MCI College, MRI College? Sexual Alchemy, shifting our consciousness. It tends to end up with the question of whether you can be with that person respectfully. I'm late. Does this have something to do with naval? No, it doesn't have anything to do with naval maneuvers. Gary, you're awful. Nikola Tesla. Tesla. Dudes. Tesla. That's right. Tesla. Tesla. Most brilliant mind maybe ever. Tesla practiced abstinence. Tesla practiced sperm retention. Nikola Tesla. Oh, Jeff doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. You ready to tell me Nikola Tesla didn't know what he was talking about? Sandra D says it does tie into the Kundalini energy. Absolutely. Alexander's been practicing for 6 months. It's given him more energy, more self-esteem, willpower, and makes him look at women in a more respectful and appreciative way instead of a lust object. Alexander. Now a dude's bringing tears to my eyes. Wow, that is so powerful, Alexander. It gives him more energy, service to self. Gives him more self-esteem, service to self. Gives him more willpower, service to self. So what does it produce? He can look at women with a more respectful and appreciative way instead of a lust object. And Alexander, guess what? That's what draws a great woman to you. When I met the great woman in my life, she was in a relationship with another man. And I had already begun practicing this retention. And you know what? When I saw her, I was like, whoa, I was so attracted to her. If I hadn't been practicing this retention, if I hadn't had the self-control, the self-esteem, the high morality, the high integrity, I might have tried to get her to waver from her commitment to the other guy. She wasn't happy. I knew it. I mean, I read people. That's what I do for a living. I knew she wasn't happy. And if I hadn't been in this place, I might have tried to work her. And if I'd have tried to work her, I wouldn't be here right now because her integrity would not allow for anything, not even a crack. I had to stop working with her because I was too attracted to her. A few months later, saw her in person. I did an event in her area. She came, completely platonic. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. But fireworks are going off. She was still in a relationship. I knew she wasn't happy. I knew she wasn't even in the same country as happy. I knew that. But I also knew that her integrity was so high. And if I hadn't been practicing what I'm practicing now, then I might have made a play and ruined everything. I did say, hey, if things change, you let me know. Not when you were there. I sent her an email, a text. And then a few months later, I get a text that says, am I ever going to see you again? Boom. All I'm trying to say is it's worth it. It's worth it. I love you, Sandra D. We're going to discuss all this week. Absolutely. People would like the female view. Absolutely. I want to do your soul contract reading for free. Let's connect. Okay. JeffreyDaugherty.com. Send me an email or send me a message through there. We are too controlled by our sexuality because we're not controlling our sexuality. It's controlling us. It turns the whole thing around when you control your sexuality and aren't being controlled by your sexuality. David Ross says that you're retaining energy for Kundalini. Easier said than done if you're a teenager. Are you a teenager, David? If not, get that cunt out of my face. But it's all paid for. I once traveled down the dark road of sexual energy. Okay. I'm 100% correct. Well, thank you, conscious thinking. I don't hear that enough. Most men and women are controlled by sexuality. You're exactly right, Daniel, because they don't control their sexual. Thank you, Daniel, Harry Lakumi, because here is the quote of the day. If you don't, you'll either control your sexuality or be controlled by your sexuality. Which one do you want? Football players abstain too. Yes, they do. Love to get my hubby in a session with me. Women, it's turning the mind before even touching. Yeah, it depends upon how healthy you are, but after a couple weeks, all those nutrients do get reabsorbed back into your body. WM is right. If you're really healthy, if you have low body fat, see, here's the thing, 2 weeks for the normal American male. The normal American male is obese. Obese. I've lost now 27. I've lost now 40 pounds in the last 6 months. And what took 2 weeks for the nutrients in the sperm to reassimilate into my body now probably takes 1 week. And when you're like Sandra D'Angelo, of course, she's not a man, but say you're built like Jay Campbell, his sperm is going to reabsorb in days because there's no body fat. His system is a highly functioning machine, and that's where I'm trying to get to. Now, I'm never going to look like Jay Campbell, but dudes, I'm going to be under that. I'm being, 3, 4, 5% body fat. I'm going to be down there, and it gets reabsorbed very, very quickly. Nothing to lose. At bare minimum, you get some willpower over yourself, just like beating an addiction. Oh, and he spelled it in a clever way. Thank you, David. That's very, very good. It can repair relationships as well. Absolutely. Heathen Breathin' says he's been trying but failing. Well, guess what? The only way you really quit, the only way you really fail is if you quit. Don't give up. This goes for women as well. I don't know. I really just don't know. So I can't really tell you that. I can't answer that. I wish that we could teach this to my loved ones. Well, get them on the show. Women are attracted to how cute a guy is or how much money he has. Some women are. And those are women that aren't in a good place. Because some of the cutest guys and some of the ones with the most money are the worst psychopathic, sociopathic, narcissist SOBs you'll ever run into. And there's some broke dudes that are that way too. So all I'm saying is look for something new, something real. Jeff, this is real secret. They don't want you to talk about it. I salute you. Thank you, WM. Just trying to see if I can find any more good comments to bring out. Sorry about that. Sorry for all the dead air. I know that's bad, but I don't want to miss any of the good comments because there's a lot of good comments in here. A lot of good comments in here. And if I don't read yours, it doesn't mean I don't think it's good, but there's just a lot of them in here. So I'm missing some that I don't want to miss. Einstein also practiced sperm retention. Einstein and Tesla. Thank you, Sandra. I've gained 30 pounds since I started working third shift. Modern women. Anyway, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't practice yoga, but I practice meditation. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry this went an hour and 12 minutes, but this was good stuff. Semen retention. Are you being lied to by the experts? Yes, you are. I will check them out, Sterling. We talked about the mundane aspects of sperm retention. Next time we're going to go into the sacred aspects. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is the New Cosmic Knowledge Channel. And this, brother, this is some new cosmic knowledge. The hands-off approach to taking control of your life, men, and for women to have a standard for the man they want. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. We'll see you again later with some more broadcast excellence. Catherine, that's a great compliment. She has 3 sons and she wants them to learn this so they can find good mates. Ask questions, question answers, and this is all part of unindoctrinating yourself gets down into your business. This is all part of it, brothers and sisters. Let's don't faint. Let's don't get weary. Let's don't shy away. Let's unindoctrinate ourselves.